धवलावगुण्ठनवतीं तेजोमयीं नैष्टिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्गीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम् ॐ शङ्खं चक्रं जलौकां दधतममृतगढं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छाति हृत्यां शुकपरिविलसन्मौलिम् अम्बोजनेत्रम् कालाम्बोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गम् कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगदवन प्रौढदावाग्निलीलं तं निखिलगदवन प्रौढदावाग्निलीलम्.
Om Amriteshwari Nama. My humble pranams in the lotus feet of Amma. Respected Swami Shankaramananandapuri, Dean Amrita School of Ayurveda. The chief guest of the day, Professor Dr. Krishna Shankar, Dean Amrita School of Engineering. Professor Dr. Ramesh NV, Principal in Charge, Amrita School of Ayurveda. Dr. Ram Manohar, Research Director, Amrita School of Ayurveda. Professor Dr. K. Parameshwaran Nambudiri, HOD, Department of Panchakarma. Dr. Ravishankar Parvajesh sir, resource person of the session today. Dear delegates, senior faculties, and my dear colleagues, warm greetings to all. First of all, I would like to extend my gratitude and appreciation to all delegates for joining us today to participate in the CME in the mid of this pandemic situation. Amrita School of Ayurveda, Amritapuri, was established in the year 2004, affiliated to Amrita Vishwavidyapitham University. The university has become the youngest university with the highest NAC accreditation of A+++. Our college has developed into a prestigious center for education in Ayurveda, nationally as well as internationally, under the gracious guidance of its founder and spiritual guru, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi. The Department of Postgraduates started in the year 2013 and have organized various ROTP, CME, and national conferences. The Department of Panchakarma is conducting the second CME program today, sponsored by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapith. The department has also undertaken a project sponsored by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapith for developing an e-learning module application for Panchakarma. So, today, to mark the inaugural function of CME program, we are blessed to have Professor Dr. Krishna Shankar, Dean Amrita School of Engineering, as our chief guest. He is known for his wonderful administration and high achievements of the institution. Apart from this, he is a philanthropist and renders selfless service for the society. On behalf of the institution, I warm-heartedly welcome you, sir. We are honored to have Swami Shankaramananandapuri, Dean Amrita School of Ayurveda, to grace and bless this ceremony. Swamiji, more than an academic dean, he is a mentor and a guiding force for us. He, as always, has extended his full support to organize the program smoothly. On behalf of the department, I warm-heartedly welcome you, Swamiji. Next, I am honored to welcome Dr. Ram Manohar, Research Director, Amrita School of Ayurveda. His insights and support are indispensable for us. On behalf of the department, I warm-heartedly welcome you, sir. Next, on behalf of department, I warm-heartedly welcome Professor Dr. Ramesh N.V., Principal in Charge, Amrita School of Ayurveda. We are privileged and honored to be led by him always. Welcome, sir. Next, on behalf of department, I warm heartily welcome Professor Dr. K. Parameshwaran Nambudri, HOD Department of Panchakarma. He is the binding force which binds our department with perpetual support. Welcome you, sir. I also take this opportunity to welcome Ravishankar Parvajay, sir. He is a RIV Guru and he is a resource person of today's session. We welcome you, sir. On behalf of department, I extend a very warm welcome to all faculties, delegates, and students present here. Thank you.
Thank you for generous for giving me a chance to address this gathering. First of all, I give my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Amma, our whole and soul. Today, we are in the verge of cherishing our dream project, this CME. For this CME, we have great things that we have planned. For these sessions also, we have tried to collaborate many of the main faculties, very experts in the field of Ayurveda. We have tried to coordinate with them to make you maximum output of this program. So for this program, we are privileged to have your presence from all the way in this midst of this pandemic situation. You have managed well to reach here on time. To reach here. So for that also, your effort has to be appreciated. And for this program also, we have tried our level best to serve you better. During this pandemic situation, we for accommodation and all these things, we have tried the different hotels and all these things. But the problem what we have faced was, due to this pandemic situation, almost all the hotels were not having this kitchen facility or restaurant facilities, which may lead to a trouble in the later phases. So that will be a trouble. So directly we approached the ashram and we informed regarding these problems and the difficulties to manage all these things. Then with the wholehearted support, they extended their support and they warmly supported that you can have the rooms here and we will provide all the things which you need for the program. Wholeheartedly they told, you can have the rooms here. What all are the supports you need for this program, that we will extend. That was a great support which we received from Amma. And you are fortunate enough to have your stay in the ashram, that divine atmosphere. That is a main thing and the main advantage of this program, what we feel. Because whenever we try to go and see Amma, that also feels very difficult to go and meet her. But you are lucky enough to have the presence of Amma and stay there in the ashram itself means you are lucky enough. And regarding this program, for all the supports, we have our main pillars, Swamiji, Principal in Charge, Sir, Ramanohar Sir, then here our Chief Guest Balashankar Sir. All these pillars we have. So we are very confident that this program will give a good output, because that is they are our confidence for this program. And moreover, all the delegates who have taken strain for reaching at the proper time, that also has to be mentioned, because their effort, their interest towards this program. And moreover, this is our second CME which is being conducted by the Department of Panchakarma. One we have conducted in the 2015 and this is the second one. And this is for the second time getting the CME. That we are planning to make it in good manner that we have tried. In the beginning also I told you that we have tried to cooperate to the presence of all the experts in the field of Ayurveda to give you a good output of this program. That also we have tried our level best to provide you the best facilities and best faculties to guide you. And in this moment, I would like to mention that we have got approved for a project e-map, that is e-module for Ayurveda Panchakarma. That is an e-platform, e-learning module platform. That is a project which is being funded by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapit. That also is under process. That is an e-learning module that give you an easy learning way and easy teaching. That also being carried out by our institution. That also is in progress. And once again, I welcome all of you to this program, and we will try our level best to make this program a grand success by incorporating all the facilities what we have arranged, and we will make use of the resource persons that we have tried to bring here for their expert sessions. That also will add a new magnitude to our seminar. That also will be a plus point, what I feel. And once again, I welcome all you to this program. With a good beginning, we will start the program. And with these words, I conclude and wish you all the best and have a pleasant CME. Thank you.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of my Guru. My pranams to all the dignitaries on the dais and Dr. Ravi Shankar Parvaje, who is sitting below. My pranams to all the delegates who have come from all over India to participate in this training program for a week. I hope the initial anxieties are over about accommodation and other things. We have tried we will still try to help you out because you are coming from different parts of the country, and so you can tell your suggestions, so we can help you in every way. Still, we'll be doing it for the whole week, and any small help also you can express it to our department, and we will try to provide you that. So it is an introductory program, not an introductory program, but a short program to give you an overview about what is happening in Kerala type of Panchakarma. Even though the name is popular, it's not a very simple thing. For the reason, it needs hands-on training for a very long time, so that you can be very confident about doing it to your patients and to develop that same thing in your institutions, so that it has a life and it has the ignition to start and go on from there. I have worked as a therapist for more than 6 years, doing massage and every type of therapy in the ashram for 6 years, not less. So I very well know that it is not that easy to become an expert. A good masseur, when he puts his hand, it automatically go to the place where there is a problem. So the massage itself is not a simple thing. Just to do a bandage, different nurses will do it in a different way. An expert will do it in a perfect way. So to introduce you or to train you, although you have had a formal training, but I think that most of you would not have done massage and other things yourself. Also, all the traditions of Kerala also may not be, you may not know all those things. So being in Kerala, that is going to be the advantage. You can have an exposure, how the department looks, how a therapy room should be set, what are all the basic facilities that is necessary, how is the preparation room, what are all the things that you require to keep in that preparation room. It may not be complete because we are doing more than 150 therapies here, small and bigger ones. So I think the department will take care of the major therapies that are going to be done, including Shalakya as well as some of the other procedures. So to present everything within this week is going to be really difficult. Also, we cannot squeeze you, we cannot tax you with too many things. So I hope we will be giving you a relaxed method of technical training. So we'll do our best. We'll keep you in. You can keep us in touch so that further communications can be done, and we can try to help us with the technical support. Also, as he said, the EMAP program is also happening. That's a tool for the students to learn themselves, like a Byju's app. They can go to the particular application, and then if they want to see the video, they can see. It's not going to be a very lengthy video. It is going to teach you how to exactly do that technically. So that also will be launched in a year. So more than what we can speak, there's a good facility for manufacturing Ayurvedic medicines, especially the South Indian medicines, which you may not be, because I understand most of you are from North India. There are very few people from Kerala. So that exposure is also possible. There's a good herbal garden, and it's a good manufacturing unit you can visit. There's a good advanced laboratory that also should be a part of you, so that you have come all over from different parts. It's a great opportunity for you to see and understand and have an insight and spend your time to upgrade yourself technically. So I extend all my help. All our teaching faculty also will be helpful to you, definitely, surely. Besides that, there is a great advantage for you to have the darshan of Amma. Even the good devotees, close devotees of Amma from Kerala could not get it because of the COVID situations, because the situation was always changing. Most of the times we were under lockdown, and just a month before only 50 people were allowed to go inside. So you are fortunate to be accommodated within the campus, and it's an international community. With a very high technical prowesses. You can listen to Amma's bhajans, you can see the translations, you can see her meditating. So there's a lot of opportunity for you. I am not related to Amma or anything. We also, all of us came from different parts of the country. I also met Amma during my studies, during Ayurveda. And inspired by her personality. Big person means not 150 feet weight and 6 feet tall. It is the greatness of mind that is important. So the broad-mindedness is the quality of great people. Udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. The whole universe is like a small family. For Amma, ashram is not governed by a set of rules. It is like a family, a small family. For Amma, it is a small family. For us, it's very difficult to go to that level of expansion of heart. But you have that. That I consider as the greatest opportunity. I chose to study in Trivandrum only to meet Amma. There is no other reason for choosing that particular college. So that I consider as the greatest opportunity. You have come in a time when there is no crowd. Usually thousands of people throng there, and to get a glimpse of Amma is such a difficult thing. Now you have that great opportunity. I am seeing young people, all of you are, most of you are below 35, I understand. So we have the responsibility to do genuine work to reflect Ayurveda. It is also a very subtle science. Even though the Panchakarma chapters are only 5, we can recite it in 30-40 minutes. But that is not the end of all. But there is a subtleness. There is the body itself is defined in a different way by Ayurveda. It is not just a combination of conjugation of organs, liver, kidney, heart, brain. It's not a conjugation of organs. Shariram nama chetanadhisthana bhutam. It is the seat of consciousness. It is the seat of God. So that the concept of the definition of the body itself is different in Ayurveda. So you cannot neglect spiritual aspects in Ayurveda. There's a culture required to reflect and produce it before the public. We cannot just become a substitute for an allopathic person. So Ayurvedic people will have to have a different culture, a different method of speaking, different method of understanding things about life. And to treat, we should be considerate. How we can reduce the expenditures, how we can prevent diseases, how we can help through Panchakarma. Instead of going to, in the West they go to outings, nature, and drink and come back in a week. Instead of that, a day of massage, a day of fasting will be very, very, very helpful. So many ways we can contribute. So genuinely we can try to understand what is told in the Ayurvedic scriptures written by the great rishis. So I understand that you have this great opportunity. So I wish you a good future, a good health, and besides everything, the divine grace of Amma. So I hope you will definitely be benefited and transformed by this a week-long program. We will try to give you our best. Thank you very much.
Amriteshwari Nama. First of all, pranams to Swamiji and to all the dignitaries on the dais. I thank you for inviting me to this CME on Panchakarma and to share my thoughts with you on Amrita and Amma. So you may wonder what an engineering dean is doing at a Panchakarma CME. I know next to nothing about Ayurveda, and though I benefit a lot from Ayurveda. However, I am here to talk to you a little bit about Amrita, and we were discussing about how lucky you are that you are, you're staying in the ashram and you're going to get an opportunity to meet Amma. And to put it in perspective, let me tell you, there are people from all over the world, from the US and Europe, who are coming here. For the past 2 years have not managed to come here. But then some of them who come here, they have to come here and stay 10 days of quarantine because ashram was closed and were very strict until just recently. So they had to take 10 days or 2 weeks in quarantine and then come and they meet Amma for maybe a few minutes, and whatever they have problems, whatever they will tell her. And then after that, they are so relieved and so happy, and then they go back and then they fly back. So basically for 5 minutes of interaction with Amma, there are people who are traveling all over the world and waiting for 2 weeks to see her, and you are all going to see her without much other effort tomorrow. So indeed you are extremely lucky, and you will understand doubly more when you actually meet her tomorrow. So actually just a little bit about Amrita. I'm sure all of you have heard about Amrita, which is why you're here. Amrita is one of India's fastest growing universities. We started very recently. Recently we got, as he was saying, NAC A++, which is the highest accreditation by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. We also got an NIRF, National Institute of Ranking Framework, number 5 in India last year, just after IISc and a couple of other universities. 2 years ago, we were nominated by the Government of India for an Institute of Eminence status, IOE status. Now, when I say that we are the best private university in India, and if you take world rankings, in the Times Higher Education, there's a ranking on social footprint. the social impact that a university has in terms of the research, innovation, and societal work that it does, we came 80 something, 82 or something in the whole world. So we are in the top 100 in the whole world. And in the Times Higher Education Millennial Rankings, Young Universities Rankings that started after 2000, that is universities that started after 2000, we are 37 in the whole world. So now what the statistics does not show you, when I say we are NIRF 5th rank or 4th rank or NAC A++, IISc is number 1. What the statistic does not show you is the time that it has taken. In IISc has been around for more than 100 years. The IITs have been around for 60, 50, 60, 70 years. We've been around for 20 years. So what it means is that it is an incredible ramp rate, a phenomenal growth rate at Amrita, and which is inexplicable to most of us. And wherever we go, myself definitely, I visit several universities across the world every year and collaborate with several people in several industries. Everybody asks us the same question: how come you're growing so fast? And to be frank, I don't have an answer for you so easily, other than the fact that it is Amma's legendary leadership and vision. Swami Vivekananda used to say that if a man with an ideal makes a mistake, a man with an ideal, if he makes 100 mistakes, a man without an ideal will make 10,000 mistakes. So basically what it means is, if I know where I am going, even if I stumble and fall, I can pick myself up and continue to walk in the same direction. But if I don't know where I am going, I will just meander around hopelessly and not get anywhere. Amrita knows where it's going. We have a specific mission, vision, and a directive. What is our mission? I will tell you in one word. Okay, it will sound like a very big deal, exaggeration to you, but that's the truth. Amma started this university for only one reason: to find cost-effective solutions for the common man's problems. We want to solve the world's problems. Now you may see, what are you talking about? Yes, that is why Amrita was started, to bring scientists, faculty, researchers, students, from all doctors, engineers, experts from all disciplines together to work on societal problems. This is health, cancer research, infant mortality, quality of life, sanitation, energy, advanced materials, robotics, control systems, renewable energy. I don't want to give you an engineering talk here, but etc., etc., etc. Based on what is known as compassion-based research, based on Amma's philosophy of compassion. Amma stands today as perhaps as history's greatest example of universal love and unconditional love and compassion. You will see, I cannot explain in words about Amma to you, because that would be very foolish. Because Mahatmas who live in that plane of consciousness are beyond words. They are an experience. So, but what does she do? What is the impact that Amma and this university has had on society? I'll give an example. Here in this hospital itself and in the AIIMS hospital, if you put together, which Amma started in Cochin, more than 41 lakh people together, I'm telling, and all the other related medical facilities that Amma has started, the Amrita has started, more than 41 lakh people have been treated free of cost, absolutely free. That's an example for you. When the tsunami and other things hit, Amma built thousands of houses for the poor. We started a huge drive to build houses for the poor. Wherever there is suffering, you will find. Okay, an example. Yesterday, one of our alumni, her name is Sri Priya, I'm very proud of her. She was a computer science student. Is single girl working in Europe. Okay, she's now on the Poland-Ukraine border. And there's few devotees, and they put Amma's picture there, and they are helping with food and other items, standing in the cold. It's bitterly cold there, helping Ukraine refugees coming into Poland. Why should she do that? She's not getting paid for it. Why would she do that? It is not a very safe place to be. She can be in the comfort of her home, but she is our alumni. and she has put Amma's picture behind her, and that is the effect that Amma is having on this world. She stands, I mean, I'm so happy. I was so happy to see her, because I've seen her every day in the campus. I have no clue. I had no clue what a wonderful person she was until yesterday. I saw, my God, I know this person. And she's sitting in the Poland-Ukraine border helping refugees for no reason. Nobody asked her to do so. But that's what Amma inspires people to do. I'll give an example. Let's give an example. In Thrissur, there was an auto rickshaw driver who started getting epileptic fits. And because of that, he couldn't drive his auto. And because of that, he could not take care of his family. So the AIMS hospital in Ernakulam gave him a free surgery. Gave him a surgery, robotic surgery or whatever. I don't know the details. They embedded a chip in his brain. And after which the epileptic seizures are controlled, and he's now able to drive his auto, and he can sustain his family. And a surgery like that, an operation like that in the US would cost you, believe me, minimum $150,000. I know, because I've been in the US. It's one of the worst medical systems in my life I've seen. I'm sorry to say that, but compared to India, yes, because to get an appointment to the doctor in the US, it will take 2 weeks. You will get all right before that. So, and then you will go and see him, and he'll give you a tablet which you already know, and he'll charge you $150 for that also. So, I'm just telling you the situation. So, it'll cost you $100,000. But here, he got it free. This auto rickshaw driver got it free from AIMS. Once again, example of the work that Amma is doing at every day. So whether it's tsunami relief, whether it's building houses for the poor, whether it's treating medical camps, treating people, there are floods in Raipur, floods in Bihar, etc., compassion-based research, in all these things you will find Amma's hand, and you will find Amrita's hand. So we started recently in Amrita University, the ashram adopted 108 villages across the country, where the ashram is working towards sustainable development in those villages, in terms of energy, sanitation, adult education, health, so many things. And our students are also participating in that. And so we started this beautiful program called Live-in Labs. And it's gaining international attention, and people from all over the world are coming in. Where what happens, a student goes to that particular village during his vacation or whatever, he or she and the team of students, they identify the main problem in that village. They come back and they work on a cost-effective solution, and they go back and deploy it, and they get credit for it. That is called Live-in Labs. So that has become so successful. We have people from Japan, we have people from UC San Diego, we have people from all over the place participating in this, what is known as Live-in Labs. And here are our students, under Amma's inspiration. Instead of sitting at home during the vacation seeing TV, they are in the villages. Okay, nobody is forcing them to. It's a voluntary elective. You take the elective and you get credit for it. But they become that much more employable. They have so much more learning experience, because they are solving a problem on the field, and they come back much deeper and compassionate human beings. An example, in Wayanad there was a village in North Kerala which had no electricity from history. But our students from here and from Ettumandai, Coimbatore campus went there and put up microgrid, solar microgrid, etc. Now that village has electricity. People there now the kids there can study at home, etc. So these are the examples of research and activities that Amrita does under Amma's inspiration, which is why Amrita is growing so fast. I'll give another example, and then I will stop with that, because I don't want to distract you from your CME. But, when the Wireless Network Center started here, this is a very good example. The first funding that Amrita got was from the European Windsock Commission to start a wireless center for research in wireless networks and for disaster mitigation. So our Vice Chancellor and the director of that lab, they went to Amma and they said, we got this funding. So Amma asked, what are you going to do with this funding? They said, we'll have a center. What are you going to do with that center? Oh, we'll publish papers, we'll have students, they will get masters, etc. Amma said, in that case, please return the money. And they were shocked. This is the first funding Amrita was getting from international. Amma saying, return the money. Then why? She said, a chance to save lives come very rarely. You are saying that you want to do disaster prevention. In that case, if you want to take this money from the government, what you should do is identify a place where there are landslides. Go deploy your sensors there. Save lives. If you can do that, accept the money. If you can't do that, don't accept the money. Now you see what I mean. When you work for a Mahatma, the accountability is very high. high. You just can't get away with, so many, we all know, so many universities, so much funding. How much work is translated at the ground, grassroots level? That's the question, finally. Hundreds of crores of funding is there across IITs across. How much of that is going to help to the common man on the street? That is Amma's question. So what happened? That's exactly what they did. They set up a center in Munnar, which is Kerala, which is prone to landslides, and was very successful. They evacuated the villages 3 times. They gave them early warnings because of Amrita sensors there, and they have saved lives. And the government was so impressed with it that it wanted us to deploy the same system in Himalayas, which is going on now, and it is now a world center of excellence in landslide detection. Okay, simply because we chose to do the extra mile. So Amma is known all over the world for her compassion. She is known in the West as the hugging saint. You may have all heard of that. She meets each person with a loving embrace. So when I first saw her, I was also a student in UT Austin. I saw her in a city called Dallas, just 3 hours away. I went to see this great saint, and I was amazed by what I saw. She'll come in the morning around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and she will start meeting each and every person individually. She embraces them, talks to them, they come and cry on her shoulder, they'll tell her problems, this, that, whatever. And then one after one, it goes on and on and on and on. So in those days in Dallas, there was much crowd, it stopped at around 4 o'clock. Then after that, she took a break, and then she came back around 6:30, after some bhajans. Again, the darshan started. Throughout the night. It lasted till around 2 a.m. or something like that. So I was amazed. The smile she showed the last person. There's no gimmicks, no miracle mongering, no claims, nothing. Only love. Just love. That's it. So the smile she shows the last person is as fresh, genuine and spontaneous as the smile she shows the first person. The last person, the 10,000th person, receives as much attention as the first person. And it's not an easy task to, hug one after another and listen to their problems. But those days in Dallas, it got over by 2 o'clock in the night and evening. Now it's impossible. Now it's impossible to any town on earth to go near Amma and expect to come away in a few hours, because there are some 45,000 people there. And she will not get up until she meets the last person. If you see Amma's birthday here, around 200,000 people come here into this campus. You may not believe it, but this is true. Around 200,000 people come. And she will not get up until she meets the absolute last person. Her bones are wearing away, yes. Is it physically painful for her? It must be. I mean, you are doctors, you know that. I mean, this is what she does night, but 15,000 times a day. And she's been doing that for 45 years and she's not taken a break. But does that pain show on her face? No. And that is what made her or makes her so popular and so an irresistible magnet. And she's known all over the world as perhaps the greatest example of compassion. No claims. She doesn't claim anything for herself. She only gives love. And that embrace of love has catalyzed, this entire set of humongous humanitarian operations across the world, including Amrita Vishwavidyapith. All the research we do here, all the work that we do here has that motto in mind. How can we serve society? And that behind that is Amma's compassion, Amma's love, her vision of oneness. Amma says that God is not I'm not going to talk philosophy to you. I'm not qualified to do that. But from what little I've learned, Amma says God is not a person sitting somewhere up above in some antiseptic corner of the cosmos. But on the other hand, He is the whatever that is the consciousness in all beings. She says she sees the same self in all beings. And in that plane of consciousness, the love they feel for themselves and the love they feel for others is the same. So that is what has that universal love, that unconditional love that Amma embodies. Absolute egoless love, because she doesn't claim anything. And she'll just say Kripa. She will never say I. She doesn't use the word I. If you call her Amma, she says Amma. But she doesn't say I did. Nothing like that. There's no claim. She has catalyzed this vast network of charitable activities across the world, including Amrita Vishwavidyapith. Which is why I believe our rankings are so high. Which is why I believe our growth rate is so high. Because we have a mission, we have a vision that is powered by Amma's selflessness. And so, I mean, I cannot say much more than this, but I just wanted to give you a brief glimpse of. So we have about 6 campuses now. We have 4 engineering campuses in Chennai, Bangalore, Etimadai, and here. The Ayurveda campus here, the medical campus, world famous medical campus in Cochin, arts and MBA in education in Mysore. And now we are going to have 2 new campuses in Amaravati and Faridabad. Faridabad, we are going to have South Asia's largest hospital in NCR in Delhi. So all these have come out simply because of the compassion and all-embracing love that Amma stands for. And it's because of Amma's compassion and love that all of us are here. And experts from all over the world are here. Because they see in Amrita a wonderful place where they can work without, and the satisfaction they get, the inner satisfaction they get, and the fulfillment that they get by working in such a noble institution is fantastic. So that said, I mean, I just want to welcome you again to the CME. This is a very holy place. Yes, you have come to a very holy place. Amritapuri is a holy place. It is blessed by the presence of one of the world's greatest Mahatmas, and therefore it's a very holy place. And you are doubly blessed because tomorrow you are going to have Amma's darshan also. And then you are also blessed because of several resource persons and experts here to exchange ideas with you, led by Shankar Swami, our most beloved Shankar Swami, who is an expert in Ayurveda and Sanskrit and scriptures and all that. So, and we have a very beautiful setting here. I hear many of you are from North India. You may not have visited Kerala before. There's herbal garden and there's very green and beautiful campus. We also have a beach there. Please don't go to the water. It's a bit dangerous. But yes, please walk around, visit our campus. It's a very beautiful place. I welcome you all again. I wish this CME all the success. And thank you all. Namaskar.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Amma. My humble pranams to all the dignitaries who are assembled here. It's a pride moment for Amrita Ayurveda to conduct CME in Panchakarma for the second time. As a graduate in Vaishajya Kalpana, I can say that there are 2 subjects in Ayurveda. Even though we have a central framework of syllabus by CCIM, these are all the Vaishajya Kalpana and Panchakarma are the 2 subjects, I think, which greatly varies from place to place. So, especially in Kerala, when we follow Ashtanga Hridaya more, we have an entire set of different preparations, which generally we don't practice. Even I am from a Karnataka where we don't hear much about Kashayams, whereas in Kerala the practice is more of Kashayams. Whereas as you go north, you have more use of Rasaushadis. Here we use very less Rasaushadis. In the same way, when it comes to Panchakarma, Kerala has got a special tradition of developing its own Panchakarma. And a lot of North Indians, a lot of people from other countries also come to Kerala for a specialized procedures called as Kerala Panchakarma. But as such, I don't define it as a Kerala Panchakarma. It's a Panchakarma as a whole. As Swamiji was telling, there are more than 150 procedures explained, generally which we don't practice. Any person will be knowing 10, 15, 20 procedures, whereas a few procedures have been given more importance in Kerala Panchakarma. And that is the strength also in Ayurveda, quite from time immemorial. You might be knowing that Kerala was well known for Ayurveda treatment by institutions like Kottakkal and Ashtavaidya. And that tradition has been continued even in the colleges, even though CCM curriculum limits, and Panchakarma has gained a lot of importance in the clinical practice. So maybe 50-60% of all hospitals will have Panchakarma patients, whereas in other places it will be comparatively less. So that is one strength. And coming to the CMEs, it's a part of evolving ourselves, learning more and more. Of course, we get a degree, come out and start practicing whatever we have learned. And maybe after 3 years, 5 years, somewhere we feel stagnated, and we need to upgrade ourselves, have a practical approach, innovations, and for which CME has been designed by RAV, and we are doing. And last time also, when School of Ayurveda has conducted CME, there was a lot of interaction. We try to get best possible resource person to give insight into an advanced understanding of Panchakarma, advanced application of Panchakarma. And this year also the department has more people, more resource person who are coming and teaching you. And hopefully you will be able to get all those things. And the one more advantage is, I think this year they try to bring the neglected aspect of Panchakarma from the other branches like Shalya, Shalakya. Generally, a Panchakarma therapist doesn't know much about it. Panchakarma PGs will be morely concentrated on Purva Karma and Pradhana Karmas, basically of Homana, Virechana and Basti. Whereas the treatment like the lot of gynecological treatment like Uttarabasti or Netra Kriya Karmas, and that also it's always better to have a practical understanding. I think this time they are concentrating on it. I think as a delegates, you are all lucky to have a set of resource persons who give a better insight. And of course, the first person, resource person itself, sir is an expert in applied aspect of Panchakarma, well known overall. So this sort of resource person, we are going to enrich you. And I expect all of you to spend these 6 days getting a new understanding of the applied aspect of Panchakarma, making your foundation very strong. And I can see a few alumni from Amrita also coming to participate in the Panchakarma. That itself says, as our Swamiji and Balashankar says, we never stop at learning things and improvising ourselves. So whenever they were studying, the Panchakarma was good in Amrita, and now there is a lot of advancement, lot of addition, which they also want to upgrade. And that's how, as sir told, we could able to achieve great heights in a short period. And that's our motto. And whoever comes with us, we try to take along with them. And this is the message I want to say. We call it as an Amrita family. Even though if you have come for 6 days and be a part of family, be in touch with the department people. And we are proud to say that our department also, Panchakarma department also has a majority of the faculties are our alumni. It's a proud moment. They learned here and they are trying to improvise the understanding of Panchakarma. So even though you are here for 6 days, be a part of Amrita family, be in touch, learn new things, understand new things. And as Bala sir was telling, our aim is to serve the humanity, try to transfer this knowledge to the patients, remove their sufferings. And I think the blessing from the patients is much more valuable than the whatever fame and money you achieve. At the end of the day, those blessings counts, and that's an experience of me in past 30 years. And hopefully you will be able to serve the people better in future. With these few words, I'll once again welcome you all, and I expect you to have a beautiful session for 6 days, and all the best. Thank you.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My prostrations at the lotus feet of Amma. Pranams to Swamiji, Bala Shankarji, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Parameshwaran Nambudri, Dr. Ravi Shankar Parwaje sir, all the other faculty and students and delegates of the CME. I'm very happy to be present here today, marking the inauguration of this event. So Panchakarma is really one of the greatest gifts of Ayurveda to the world. If you look at all the specialities and potential that Ayurveda has, I think Panchakarma stands out as something really unique, because this concept of Shodhana or cleansing, you can say deep cleansing of the human body, is very unique to Ayurveda. And we know today that the world is affected more by non-communicable diseases, chronic diseases. These are called as the NCDs, or non-communicable diseases. And this is increasing. It's creating a big economic burden for the whole world. 70% of this health burden of the world can be attributed to NCDs, out of which cardiovascular disease, cancer, rank as the number 1 and 2. And if you look at it from an Ayurvedic perspective, these are all preventable diseases. There are old communities which do not know about heart attacks, which do not know about cancer. Even just near the Indus Valley, there is a community of Hunzas who lead a very traditional, simple life. Heart attacks, they don't have heart attacks, they don't get cancer. So today we cannot imagine a society where people don't get cardiovascular diseases or cancer. In fact, the cancer burden is also going to be alarmingly, skyrocketing in the next decades. That's what the projection says. And this is where I think Panchakarma has a very great role to play. Not only in curing diseases, but also in prevention. Because Panchakarma is part of Ayurvedic preventive care, Ritucharya. And our texts clearly point out that this is the best way to prevent diseases. The number 1 disease is heart disease, second is cancer, and third is the doctor. That is what the United States say. After not cleansing your body, finally you kill the patients with medicines, as Bala sir was also earlier talking about. The challenge before us is also that, I'm not taking much time, but just a couple of important points I thought should be discussed, is that there is also one of this, although this is the greatest potential of Ayurveda, it's also the most misunderstood. Panchakarma has also become a kind of misnomer. So as the young torchbearers of Ayurveda, it is your responsibility to also spread the right awareness. Panchakarma has been reduced to massage. And there is this misnomer also as Kerala Panchakarma, where we don't actually do all the Panchakarmas. It doesn't make sense to call that. So these are all kind of commercial, fads that are, getting propagated, which we need to be very careful about. And Panchakarma is, of course, today it's very much matter of appreciation that Panchakarma has been recognized as a speciality. But like Kaya Chikitsa, it's part of Kaya Chikitsa, and as Acharya has said, Sarvanga Vyabhi Bhavata. It is relevant to all branches. And we need very specialized training in Panchakarma, because we know that we can do it wrongly and it can harm the patients a lot. That is why the Vyapats are discussed only in the context of the Panchakarma itself. So in this regard, it's really important to keep improving and enhancing our knowledge. And I think these CMEs are definitely going to help, because there are different ways in which these practices are done across the country. It's very, very important that we get together and share experiences, one region of the country sharing with people from other parts. This is very much, part of the process of knowledge building. As our Acharya says, Satadadhyayanam. This is the Ayurvedic concept of CME. Satadadhyayanam. Don't stop learning. Continuous. Today we talk about continuous medical education, which is a very old concept. Satadadhyayanam. Vadaha. Debating, discussing. It's not simply, when you come together, all these elements should be there in the CME. Satadadhyayanam vada. Paratantraavaloganam. Looking at the viewpoint of others. Tadvidya acharya sevacha. Being with experts, like we have great experts in the field here, learning from their experience. Buddhi meda karogana. So this improves your intelligence and your scholarship. And this is the way we can take Ayurveda forward. And one last thing I would like to point out, one of the reasons why Panchakarma treatments are not getting worldwide accepted in spite of the potential is certain mental blocks. Because in modern science there is nothing like Panchakarma. This concept itself is not accepted, that you can cleanse the body. If you look at most of the modern theories, they say our body has natural ways of excretion and we don't need to do anything additional. So this is a real mental block. And for that reason, I think we should also do some research. And there are a couple of interesting researches that have come out from the US in a Nature journal. It's not a top Nature journal, but scientific reports. There was an article by Deepak Chopra. It is not even, full-fledged Panchakarma. But this article mentions how these procedures change the whole metabolomics of the human body. All these non-communicable diseases are due to impaired metabolism. And Panchakarma resets the whole metabolism of the body. Your body comes back to another way of, dealing with your metabolism. And Professor M.S. Valiathan has also initiated a work, and he did a study. Dr. Urmila Thate from Mumbai, she's an allopathic doctor, but she did a study, animal study, which showed that after the Panchakarma procedures, your entire immunological system is, reset. There is an immunomodulation that happens. So I would also say that in order for this to get widely accepted and, translated into a global practice, as our dean was also mentioning, Amma is very particular that, we create a societal impact. And I think Panchakarma is one area where Ayurveda can create global impact if it is implemented properly. Because this burden of NCDs, we can definitely reduce it. The way heart diseases, cancer is increasing is really alarming. And finally, yes, you're all blessed to be here in this divine, place where Amma herself is doing a great Panchakarma for the world, I think. She's deep cleansing all our minds, so you're witnessing a much bigger Panchakarma. This is, the center for that global Panchakarma that is happening at a spiritual level. And so that also makes it a very appropriate and ideal place for you to study and advance in the learning of Panchakarma. So with these words, again, seeking Amma's blessings and wishing you all the best. Om Amriteshwari.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Good morning to all. It's my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I thank our special guest Balashankar sir, who despite his busy schedule has found time to grace this occasion. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. I express heartfelt thanks to our Swamiji Shankaramridanandapuri for Swamiji's valuable time and support. I express my thanks to Dr. Ramesh sir for being with us. I also thanks Dr. Ram Manohar sir for your presence. My heartfelt gratitude to my HOD Dr. K. Parameshwaran Nambudiri sir for his support and coordination. I also thank Dr. Ravishankar Parvaje sir, who is the resource person of the day. I thank all the distinguished invitees who has reached to us from various states for the commencement of this program. I express my thanks to all the senior faculties of Amrita School of Ayurveda for gracing this occasion. Last but not least, I thank all the faculties and PGs of Department of Kaya Chikitsa and Panchakarma, and also the house surgeons for their support. I also thank the technical and media team. We are very happy that this inaugural ceremony of CME of Panchakarma was organized and coordinated through many hands. So once again, I thank each and everyone who has been our support and well-wisher. Thank you one and all. Namaskar.